Hello, it's February 2022, and I'm going to be talking about something that I talked about in a recent video that had to do with skip tracers and process servers and so forth. And again, I wasn't saying anything negative about that profession of the people, great professions. And I did learn a lot about surveillance and things related to that, and really opened my eyes to a lot of different things. Being with that, or with being part of that world, and had some people make some various comments, saying that it's exciting, sounded exciting, and so forth. And I suppose it was. That's why I did it part-time. It was more for fun, and apparently I was really good at it. And tons of different stories. So I'm going to share just one story, very vague, obviously, have to be. And I'm going to expand on that with some other comments and questions people have had. So one particular story, I remember I spent 3 days doing this type of stakeout, and I had dressed as a role, and I mentioned this in the previous video. I've done this a few times. As a delivery person, it was around Christmas, and I had a friend, give me a big, huge gift basket, and it had like a bottle of vodka inside. It was all wrapped in that cellophane, and it had chocolates and all sorts of stuff, and it was huge, really big basket. So I used that as a prop, and I had a clipboard, and I had borrowed someone's sheets for deliveries that were already checked off and stuff. And anyway, and I spent 3 days trying to get to this individual, and talking with the maid, and kind of chumming up, and neighbors and everything else. It wasn't the homes were spread apart pretty wide, so it was an interesting 3 days. And I actually left a number where they can call me, and I think it was by the second day this person was wanting their delivery, thinking it was the gift basket. So I remember I wasn't that far, and I said, well, I'm really busy, I'm doing all these deliveries, made up a story that I had wife and like 5 kids, and I'm just trying to get some Christmas gifts and all this stuff. And they were irate, cursing at me. They want it now. So I said, well, I'll try to be back in the area. That was day 3. Be back in the area, and I'll see if I can drop it. Oh yeah. And I remember at that moment I had let some other people know, so there was other people in proximity to where this was going to happen. And anyway, long story short, the person answered the door, that I identified them, and they were looking at this gift basket, kind of excited and mad at me. Said a few bad words to me for not leaving it with the maid. And I had it all, what I needed, tucked in behind, handed it over, and left. And it was, yeah, story. Somebody wanted to know a story. So, and there was just trying to remember now, when it comes to skip tracers and stuff, I don't know how they do what they do. I really don't, and I don't think I want to know. I remember one time I talked to one, and I was kind of being lighthearted when I asked. I said, so how did you, whatever, find out? And they said jokingly, if I tell you, I have to kill you, right? And I'm like, yeah, we were just laughing, but it's like, I really don't want to know. So I can't really answer anything about that. I know, I guess, the surface of that kind of world with process serving. And I remember, this ties in with something else someone said about targeted individuals, or TIs. and if that could be a real thing. And I remember around 2000, it was 2012, I spent a year researching that topic extensively. And actually I spoke to, I can't remember now, quite a few people who said that they were targeted individuals. And at the end of it, I concluded that it's really hard to say. But I did say that it's hard to tell if there was an event in someone's life that triggered this, or if this was something pre-existing, or if there was something actually really going on. A lot of people think that they're targeted. I'm just going to interject an observation during the time when I was researching the topic of TIs, and I noticed a lot of people who consider themselves TIs became the types of people who TIs worry about by stalking other people, and they didn't see that they became that which they feared. And so I just wanted to mention that for whatever it's worth. And a lot of people take things personally, and I'm not talking badly about people who think that they're being targeted, but a lot of people take things personally. And I've mentioned before about, say, false accusations, or just social justice mindsets and everything else, busybodies I've talked extensively about over the years. And a lot of people assume that these examples I just gave are actually them being targeted. And they may very well be targeted by somebody who just doesn't like them. Who knows, right? But the type of surveillance that, and even say, for example, from the other end, doing like personal and private type of security and everything else. The world is those things are very real, and we know that there's a lot of things going on with governments and everything else, and police especially, and whatever they think that they're doing. So yeah, it is possible that this topic of TIs, I'll just call it, exists. Not for most people. And I remember talking to some people, and they, again, I'm not making fun out of them or anything, but they thought maybe like 20, 30 years ago they made a complaint to City Hall or something about, I don't know, some dead grass in front of their house, and ever since then, type of thing. And, you know, maybe they did take somebody off, but without it would escalate into something that crazy. Now, there is, and I'm going to say this, I know there's people, atheists, and people who don't believe that there's more than just the physical world, but there's a spiritual aspect to life. And when it comes to that part of life, I'm going to use the descriptive, the not so nice ones, or some people call them demons or whatever, target people. So I just want to interject here about, for example, as a common descriptive, demons, for example, targeting someone, and how they can and do use other people to do something to an individual. If, for example, they can't impact that individual directly, like in a personal way, so they'll use other people or other situations to their advantage. So whether you want to accept that or not, you know, that's on you, but that does happen. And however you want to interpret that, that's on you. That's not the point of this, but there is that kind of targeting that is very real. It can be very real. that really impacts people's lives. But that's not what this video is about, spiritual stuff. I just want to mention that because it kind of gives an answer to that question about TIs. So anyway, I decided to share this for what it's worth, and just trying to think. I think there was another one I want to address, but I can't think of it. So I apologize. Anyway, thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share.